Hello, my name is Victor. I'm from Komplet America, and today I'm going to demonstrate to you how to set up the Kompatto 124. Follow me. First step, this side of the machine, you're going to open up the door. There is a battery disconnect. You're going to turn your battery disconnect on, and then we're going to follow to the opposite side of the machine. You're going to open up this door, and you're going to see how your display is lit up. You're going to turn this key to the right. Your remote control local, you're going to turn that to the right. Once you turn that to the right, you have your ignition button. You're going to hold this in for 3 seconds, and then the alarm will start going off to let you know that the machine is about to start. Now, once your machine is started, you want to sync your remote. On your e-stop, you want to release it. You hit the button. That light is going to be lit. Once that light is lit, you're going to go back here to remote and turn it to the left. At that point, your unit is synced. Before operating any hydraulics, you want to set your machine to high speed, which is F3. Now we're going to begin on opening up the conveyors. We're going to hit this lever right here, and we're going to flip it down. Now we're going to open up the conveyors. To open up this conveyor, the midst conveyor, we're going to hit the lever. The levers are marked, fold, and unfold. And we're going to open it up a little bit because on the mid conveyor there's 2 rollers that need to be installed. Once you have the rollers installed, we're going to open up the conveyor a little bit more. Now we're going to go to the opposite side and continue opening up the conveyor. Now to unfold the conveyor in the position that we want it to, these conveyors have 3 steps. We did the first step on the opposite side. Now on this side, we're going to go on this, which is unfold. Once you get to this point, now you want to go to the valve to the left. You're going to need a hand to navigate the conveyor up and down to release the pin. Now that you have your conveyor down, in this location we need to install 2 more rollers like we did in the beginning. The rollers are going to be mounted here. Now that we have our mid belt open, now we're going to open up our lower belt. To open up your lower belt, you'll see it here illustrated lower deck belt, which will be your second valve. And we're going to hit the unfold. For this belt, you only have to open it this much. Now we're going to go to the opposite side and open it all the way. Now that we've opened the belt partially on the other side, we're going to come back to this side, and it's illustrated right here, your lower belt, and we're going to unfold it. Now that we've unfolded the belt, we're going to release the pins to drop the lower conveyor, which would be this valve right here, which is illustrated here. It's your second valve, and we're going to unfold it. This is the same procedure. You always have to pin your cylinders on your mid size or your lower size. On the arms on the conveyor, you have adjustments, so you can always raise your conveyor higher or lower. Once he's installed the pins, we need to go to the opposite side and continue unfolding the conveyor. We are going to go back to the lower conveyor, and we're going to hit the valve to fully extend. At this point, you are fully extended. Now that we have the conveyors open, we're going to set up your loading and your vibrating height for operating. For this procedure, it's recommended you have someone to help you to remove the pins on the opposite side. And these are numbered. We're going to go step by step. So first, we're going to hit this lever and we're going to raise our unit. we're going to remove this pin and we're going to place it in this place. Now that we have this pin installed, we want to make sure we're in the down position. You want to make sure it's down. Once it's down, you can remove this pin. And they're numbered. So this will be your step 1. We are in our step 2. Once we have removed this pin, we're using the same lever. We're going to go up. At this point, you'll see how you have an opening. You're going to remove this pin and install it. Once this pin is installed, you're going to go to the back of the machine and you need to line up your hole. To achieve this, you will have to play with your valve. This is your final step. At this point, you want to hit your lever down if you want to bottom down your pin. Also, please note, if you want increased size, you have an adjustment for a second section. Now that you have your machine with your conveyors open and you have it set up to produce product, you need to set up your side hopper arms. To control that, it's this lever here. And then the pin will need to be installed. On the opposite side, you're going to have the same lever, which you will open your wings on your vibrating hopper. Now that you have everything set up, please review your unit. You have an emergency stop here. You also have an emergency stop here as well. Depending on the speed of your conveyor, you can adjust the speed on your conveyor by this knob here. On the opposite side, you're going to also have 2 more valves that you can control the speed of the conveyors. You have this one here controls your vibrating hopper, how fast it vibrates, the speed. This one here is your feeder, and you can increase or or decrease the speed of the belt feeding the vibrating hopper. Please note, always make sure that your covers are locked in. Hello everyone, this is Victor from Komplet America. Now that we have the 124 all set up, I'm going to show you how to operate it. Follow me. We're going to open up this panel here. You have your vibrating screen, start and stop. You want to go up. That activates your vibrating screen. Now on your beep side note, we're going to raise that one up. Now for your mid note, we're going to go up. You should have everything working. Now that your unit is running and you want to shut it off, you want to do the opposite procedure. You want to open up the door. You hit your lever in the neutral position. This lever goes down for your fines. And for your vibrating one, you want to go in the neutral position. Do not go further. If you go further with this lever, you will activate the tracks. Same thing with this lever. If you go all the way down, you will activate the tracks. This unit is equipped with an LED system. In the front of the unit, there are LED lights. To activate them, you just turn them on. And to shut them off, you do the opposite. This unit also has an alarm system. So if you're operating this unit in an area that you want to have people aware of the unit's operation, you would just click this button here and the alarm will activate. Now to shut it off, it's the same way. You want to hit your alarm button. You hit your alarm button and it shuts off. And then to shut off your unit, you flip the switch to the left and your main electrical button to the left. Your battery disconnect on the opposite side, and your unit is shut down. You want to hit your battery disconnect right here, off. Hello, my name is Victor from Komplet America, and I'm going to show you how to shut off your unit and run it from a 3-part to a 2-part screener. You want to open up your door, and currently your unit is running on a 3-part system. What we're going to do is, we're going to shut off the vibrator, and you want to put it in the neutral position. On your fines belt, you want to bring that down to the neutral position. Same thing for your mid-side belt. You want to go on your neutral position. Do not go all the way down on your vibrator, because you will activate your tracks. Same thing with your mid belt. Do not bring this lever all the way down. You will activate your tracks. Now follow me to the front of the machine. So currently we're running the screener as a 3-part system. Now if you want to shut the 3-part system and you only want to produce 2 pieces of material, there's a knob here. So the way this knob is set up, if you turn it all the way to the left, you will shut off this belt. Now currently it's all the way to the left. If we activate this belt will not turn on. The second part that you need to do, follow me to the front. You have these covers here that you want to bring down, one on this side and one on the opposite side. You want to fold those down. The main bell has an adjustment. Currently it's extended all the way and it's pinned with these pins, one on each side. To bring this unit all the way back, we need to remove this pin on this side and the one on this side. I'll show you on the valve block which lever you need to hit to retract your main conveyor. This would be your lever for the front main conveyor. You'll either go fully extend or retract, depending on the configuration that you would need. So if you want to go to 2-part, you want to bring your extraction belt all the way in. If you're going to run it in 3-part, then you would activate your conveyor and leave your front extraction belt all the way extended. Hello, my name is Victor from Komplet America, and I'm going to show you how to shut off your Kompatto 124 and prep it for shipping. As you see, the unit is running. We're going to shut it down and start folding all the conveyors in. First thing you're going to do is you're going to open up the door. You want to shut off your mid belt. You're only going to put it in the neutral position. You're going to shut off your fine belt. You're going to go to the neutral position. Your vibrating screen, you're going to bring that to your neutral position. We're going to start folding the conveyors in. And we are going to start first by bringing your feed down with your vibrating hopper. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove these pins, and I'll show you how we set it up for shipping. We're going to hit this lever here. Once our technician is ready, once we remove the rear pins, in sequence in setting up your unit, it's labeled 1 through 4. We're going to go in the reverse procedure. So 4 is going to be your first step. Your second step is removing these pins. Store your pins here. And we'll bring the unit down. Once we have the new unit all the way down, we're going to use these pins to lock this down. Once this pin is locked, now we're going to remove this last pin. Once that pin is installed, you want to bring your feeding hopper all the way down. Once your feeding hopper is down, now we'll continue folding up all the conveyors. Now we're going to load up our conveyors, fold them all up for transport. Follow me to the other side. On the other side, we're going to fold up our mids belt. First thing we're going to do is remove the 2 rollers on the side of the conveyor, and then we're going to unpin it and fold it up. To remove the rollers, they're pretty simple. There is a quick latch. All you have to do is pull it out and the roller comes out easily. Once we have the rollers removed, our technician will go around and check the pressure on the pins that we need to alleviate to raise the conveyor. To raise that conveyor, we're going to hit this lever here, because we're going to fold. That's going to be your mid belt conveyor bottom lifting cylinder, the second one. Our technician is there removing the pin. Once the pin is removed, we will continue folding the conveyor. At this point, we want to pin the conveyor to lock it in place. Once we pin the conveyor, we'll actuate the second valve, which would fold the conveyor over onto the opposite side. To achieve that, you're going to hit the second lever, which is right next to the one that we just used. We just used this one. Now we're going to go to your mid-deck folding cylinder. And we're going to go in the up position to fold the cylinder. Once the cylinder and the conveyor are all the way down, we'll go to the opposite side and we'll finish the setup. Now that our conveyor is folded over, we're going to bring it down a little bit so we can remove the rollers before we completely close it. Now that the rollers are removed, we can continue folding the conveyor. Now, we want to fold our lower conveyor belt. To achieve that, we need to loosen up the pins on this conveyor. This is going to be your second valve on the valve block. Once he's removed the pin, we'll continue folding the conveyor. Once we reach this point, we need to repin the conveyor to properly secure it. Once the conveyor is properly secure, now we're going to fold over the conveyor. When we fold over the conveyor, it's going to be the third valve from your right to your left, middle valve. Now once that is folded, we go to the opposite side, and I'll show you how to completely close all the conveyors. Now that our conveyor is at this point and we're on this side of the machine, we want to hit the lever that says your lower deck side conveyor, and we want to hit that lever up, which will fold the conveyor. At this point, your unit now is shut down, folded up. Next step is to mount the shipping brackets, and you're ready to go. So now that your unit is completely folded up and ready for transport, there's one final step. This section here, depending on the truck that you have to load, you would have to remove this pin and fold this up, depending on your truck, to give you clearance.
All right. Now that we have the unit completely folded and ready for transport, we have to put in our locking pins and brackets on multiple locations around the machine to prevent unwanted movement during transportation. First one, each one of these conveyors in the bottom is going to have a long threaded bolt that goes through it. Now this conveyor won't move. Next we go around to the other side. It's in the same location for the other conveyor. All right, now our conveyors are locked in place and we don't have to worry about them bouncing around during transport. Next, we have to put brackets on the shaker assembly. They're going to go right next to the springs here and on the back side here. The first bracket here, there's one that's a threaded bolt. It's already pre-threaded. Then there's 2 additional bolts. Okay. For the bottom one, there's plenty of room to use like an electric impact or something like that. For over here, I generally use just a ratchet and a wrench just because it's a tight spot. It's easier to get in like this. Okay. Okay. Now this side is ready. Now we're on the other side of the machine in the same location, exact same bracket, mounts the same way. Brackets are going to be located on the back side of the vibrating unit, right here. Okay. On this side, there's generally enough room to use an electric impact, so you don't have to use a ratchet. Right. All right. This side's locked down. We'll move over to the other side and do the same thing.
And that ends our conclusion of how to operate and set up your Kompatto 124. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call at 908-369-3340. And have a great day.